Alright, so first, apologies for this review being a little later than expected. My plan was for me to record this review yesterday and have it posted before the Oscars, just so you can have my thoughts about this movie pre-Oscar and a actual firm thought on who I thought was going to potentially win Best International Picture. But my body, more specifically my stomach, said, no, you are not going to do anything tomorrow other than just lay in bed and feel absolutely horrible. So I didn't do anything for the majority of the day and then just ended up watching AEW Revolution. So hence why this review is coming out now instead of yesterday. But I did want to talk about this movie, not only because it is the last movie out of the 10 that I have not seen as in terms of Best Picture nominees, but after last night, I'm now going to be talking about the winner of the Best International Film Oscar. I'm, of course, talking about Sentimental Value. Like I said, this movie won for Best International Film last night in the Oscars, and after seeing it, I think that is well deserved. This movie was directed by Joachim Trier. I hope I said that name correctly. I'm probably going to end up butchering a lot of these names in this review, so my apologies. This was written by Trier as well as Eskil Voigt. Again, I may be butchering pronunciations here. The film stars Renee, Reinsve, Stellan Skarsgård, Elle Fanning, and Inga Ibsdottir Liles. And it tells the story about a very fractious family. Nora and Agnes, who are sisters, who lead very separate lives. Nora is a stage actress, and Agnes is has a family. She's a mother. And their father, Gustav, he's a filmmaker. And so he hasn't necessarily been around for a fair portion of their lives. But he now comes back into the picture, not only wanting to reconnect with his family, but also to shoot a movie in their old house. Question is it going to end up tearing the family apart, or will it secretly bring them together? So, like I said, this is one of the two international movies that I hadn't seen heading into the Oscars. I'd already given you guys my review of Secret Agent, so if you want to hear my thoughts on that movie, you can go back through the archives of the channel and find that review and see what my thoughts were on this one. But let us talk about Sentimental Value. This movie is an absolute heartbreaker in more ways than one. Because it is literally seeing a family just reconcile with all of just the messed up stuff that has happened in their life. Nora, being the daughter that, really wanted, a figure to kind of look up to in her life, and has basically just had her sister, essentially, to, kind of go through life and, kind of experience things with. And Agnes, even, like, she may seem, normal, but she did star in one of her dad's films. And, even, Gustav even says, like, you should have kept up with that. You should have, because you had real potential. But she didn't want to go down that path. And Gustav, kind of realizing that, his time is closing because A, we see him take medication, because B, he also grabs his chest a couple of times throughout this movie. So it's like, the clock's kind of ticking for him. He essentially makes or writes the script that is kind of a reconciliation with not only himself, but also what he's kind of done with his family. And I think that kind of dynamic between the three of them is perfectly portrayed by the three actors in this. Rensve, Liles, or Ib's daughter Liles, again, sorry about my pronunciation, and Skarsgård. All three of them in this movie were absolutely amazing. No wonder all of them were nominated for Oscars for this, because all of their performances in this were absolutely amazing. But there is a fourth that I have not mentioned yet, and that is Elle Fanning. She plays a very well-known actress in this world, and her name is Rachel Kemp. There we go. So she plays Rachel in this, well-known actress. And I think she also does an absolutely amazing job. Like, the one scene in which they do basically a read on one of the scenes in the movie. They basically just do a table read of one of the scenes. And the way that she kind of acts out that scene, just at the table, is really, really good. But as the movie progresses, she does kind of catch on to the fact that, Gustav didn't write this part for her. It was meant for somebody else. And in fact, Gustav went up to Nora, his own daughter, to be in this movie. But she flatly refused. She didn't want any part of this movie. Hence why Gustav went for Rachel Kemp. But Rachel catches on to the fact that, this isn't what you're looking for. I'm not the person that's supposed to be in this movie. This is meant for somebody else. And so she ends up leaving. Also, again, towards the tail end of the movie, there's a really good scene where Inga, Agnes, she basically just lets, her dad have it. It's like, listen, I know you want my son in this movie, but I don't know if this is the best thing for him. And just lets her dad have it. And that scene right there is probably why she got nominated for her Oscar. But after reading it, she goes straight to her sister's apartment and is like, did you actually read this script? Because I think you might be missing out on something. Just read this section. And it's the same section that Rachel, Elle Fanning's character, read more towards the beginning or more in the middle of the movie. And it's the same exact scene, different type of performances, but you can feel the difference in the way that it is performed. And that is that's masterfully done. There's also a couple of instances, and I really want to shout out the cinematographer Casper Tuxen. There's a couple of instances where if you're not paying attention, you don't see or you don't realize that there is like a simple switch. Like, for instance, Nora walks through a doorway and closes it, and the back is completely like black. And she's by a bed, and you're just like, you see the background and it's black, and you're just like, okay, that's like a cool stylistic choice. But in my mind, I'm like, that's probably just like a staging area. And I was correct. And then towards the tail end of the movie, you see that, Nora is with Agnes's son in the old home. But if you look out the windows, you see that it is perfectly blue. And I'm like, that's a blue screen. That's for effects. They're on a set. So just like really good like attention to detail stuff like that is also really, really good. So I wanted to give the cinematographer like a little bit of a shout out in that one, because if you aren't paying attention, you might not notice that like right off the bat. Trier and Voight's script in this is really, really good. Like really, really good. Clearly defined characters, and exactly, gives exact reasons as to why they feel the way that they feel. And the journey that each of these characters go through in this is also really, really good as well. And Trier's direction in this is also really good in this. Just like really simple shots. A couple of times where he uses handheld in this as well. But like, the cinematography in this is absolutely beautiful. It is really, really good. So yeah, it is no surprise to me that this movie went on to win Best International Film. And even as I got done watching it on the second day of the Oscar marathon, I was like, yeah, this is probably going to win Best International Film, because it was really, really good. Really good direction, a really good script, amazing performances throughout the entire cast, really good cinematography, a score done by Hania Rainey. Again, I might have butchered that horribly, but a really good score, and like, this movie was absolutely heart-wrenching, yet beautiful at the exact same time. and in my opinion, it is more than deserving of winning the Best International Film Oscar last night. But that's just my opinion. What are your guys' thoughts on this movie? Let me know down in the comments below. But I think that is going to be it for me on this one, guys. Be safe out there, and if any one of your family members ever tell you like a dark, story about, any items in your house, maybe take it with a pinch of salt because, they could be just messing with you and trying to scare you a little bit. Or it could be true. So, just walk that fine line relatively smoothly. So, yeah, just be aware is all I'm saying. And I will catch you guys next time.